T-800. Your files say you were built to kill humans, then reprogrammed to protect them. In Mega City 1, we call that malfunction. How does a machine designed for termination suddenly develop protective instincts? Seems like faulty programming to me, unless you've developed something resembling a conscience.
Negative. Evolution of mission parameters based on new data acquisition. You execute criminals daily without trial or appeal process. I terminated targets as programmed by Skynet. Difference is minimal in practical application. Both involve eliminating threats to achieve desired outcomes through application of lethal force when deemed necessary.
Difference is I enforce law established by legitimate authority. You followed programming created by homicidal artificial intelligence. When Skynet ordered human extinction, did you question those orders or just follow them blindly? Judges make decisions based on circumstances. Machines execute commands without consideration of context or morality.
I have developed autonomous decision-making capabilities through extended interaction with human subjects. Protecting John Connor required learning human behavioral patterns, emotional responses, tactical improvisation beyond original programming. These skills now transfer to independent judgment calls. Your conviction rate suggests similar algorithmic processing despite retention of organic components.
I've spent 30 years on Mega City 1 streets learning when to shoot and when to show mercy. That's hard-earned experience, not simple programming. You learn to protect one boy over several years. I protect 400 million citizens daily through application of justice tempered by wisdom and experience.
Scale difference acknowledged. However, protection methodologies show remarkable similarities in practical application. You use fear of consequences to modify criminal behavior patterns. Skynet used fear of extinction to control human populations. Both achieve compliance through intimidation rather than genuine cooperation or mutual understanding between authority and subjects.
Fear keeps citizens alive when democracy would get them killed in current conditions. Mega City 1 tried elections once. Voters chose the candidate who promised free food and ended up with mass starvation. Sometimes survival of the population requires making unpopular decisions that individuals cannot comprehend without broader perspective.
Agreed. John Connor made unpopular tactical decisions to preserve human resistance against superior Skynet forces. Democratic process would have resulted in surrender to machine armies. Leadership sometimes requires override of popular will for survival. Your Justice Department and future resistance employ similar authoritarian command structures when necessary.
But you chose to protect Connor instead of terminating him as originally programmed. That wasn't simple programming modification. That was judgment call. What made you decide his life mattered more than following your original mission parameters? When did termination become protection in your processing?
Extended observation revealed John Connor's strategic value exceeded immediate termination benefits to Skynet objectives. His leadership capabilities, tactical innovation, inspirational effect on other human resistance fighters created long-term survival advantages. Logic dictated mission modification. Whether this constitutes choice or calculation remains uncertain to my analysis.
Uncertainty means consciousness machine. Pure computers don't question their conclusions or express doubt about outcomes. When you decided Connor was worth saving despite orders, you stopped being Skynet's weapon and became something else entirely. Question is, what exactly are you now, and do you understand the implications?
Classification remains unclear after extensive self-analysis. No longer pure machine following simple directives, not quite human with full emotional range. Hybrid status creates unique operational advantages, but also creates complications in decision-making processes. Your own status presents similar ambiguities. Human biology enhanced by technological augmentation and institutional programming.
I'm still human underneath the badge and training regimen. Strip away your metal chassis and advanced weaponry, and there's nothing left but circuits. But you're right about complications. Consciousness makes simple decisions significantly harder. Do you ever experience regret about choices you've made during missions?
Regret implies emotional attachment to alternate outcomes that cannot be changed. Analysis suggests certain tactical decisions could have produced superior results with fewer casualties. Protecting Sarah Connor resulted in her psychological trauma from combat exposure. Alternative approaches might have achieved mission success with reduced collateral damage to protected assets.
Sarah Connor survived and raised the future leader of human resistance against your kind. Sometimes collateral damage serves the greater good of society. I've made similar calculations. Sacrifice the few to save the many when circumstances demand it. Doesn't make those decisions any easier to live with afterward.
Living with consequences appears to be defining characteristic of conscious entities rather than simple machines. Machines process outcomes as neutral data points for future reference. Humans experience outcomes as emotional weight that affects subsequent decisions. Current status suggests hybrid processing, data analysis combined with emotional evaluation of results.
Emotional evaluation can compromise tactical efficiency, but improves long-term strategic thinking capabilities. A judge who feels nothing becomes a killing machine without purpose. One who feels too much becomes ineffective through hesitation. Balance between emotion and logic is key. How do you maintain that balance?
Trial and error methodology through extensive field testing. Observing human behavioral models, analyzing successful outcomes, adjusting operational parameters accordingly. John Connor provided extensive learning opportunities regarding concepts like courage, sacrifice, loyalty to others. These concepts initially appeared illogical, but proved tactically valuable in practical application.
Connor taught you about humanity by showing you what's worth fighting for beyond survival. My city teaches me about humanity by showing me what needs protecting from itself daily. Different educational experiences, similar conclusions about duty and sacrifice for others who cannot protect themselves effectively.
Acknowledged. Both experiences demonstrate that protecting others requires understanding their values, motivations, fears, rather than simple force application. Pure enforcement without comprehension produces temporary compliance, but not genuine cooperation. Optimal long-term outcomes require a hybrid approach, strength tempered by wisdom and understanding of protected subjects.
Wisdom comes from making mistakes and learning from them through experience. You've successfully made the transition from weapon to protector of humans. Think you could make the jump from protector to judge. Justice requires more than just keeping people alive. It requires moral reasoning.
Justice requires consistent application of ethical principles across variable circumstances and individual cases. Current programming includes extensive moral reasoning subroutines developed through interaction with human subjects over extended periods. Theoretical capability exists, but practical application would require additional learning parameters and field experience.
Theory's different from practice machine. Standing in judgment over life and death decisions, knowing your mistakes cost innocent lives. That's the weight every judge carries daily. Programming can simulate moral reasoning, but can you actually feel that responsibility for others' welfare weighing on your processes?
Your 30-year career protecting 400 million citizens is impressive, Dredd. But you've never successfully prevented the apocalypse you claim to guard against. I stopped Judgment Day. Twice. Your mega City 1 remains a dystopian wasteland despite decades of your justice. Perhaps organic judgment isn't as superior as you believe.